If I were to ask you what the Dakota Pipeline is and why there's been so much news about it, I bet pretty much everyone here would be able to tell me. The water protectors' fight against the Dakota Pipeline that will run through their only source of drinking water made international news. Far fewer people know about the Rover Pipeline, a smaller natural gas pipeline that will go through Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, and Michigan. Mostly, however, it will stretch through my home state, Ohio. Rover is set to carry 3 billion feet of natural gas per day to Canada and the Midwest. It will span 713 miles, some of which will be quite literally through my backyard. I grew up and still find my home in the hills of small-town Ohio. My family owns a little over 60 acres in the middle of nowhere. Like literally, I can't see any of my neighbors. And when I was younger, much, much younger, I couldn't figure out why people had to put on pants to go outside. Because I never did. I rarely needed to because no one else was in sight except for my family. It was heaven for a child. And it is one of the quietest, most peaceful places I know. Our land is 2 ridges with a valley in between. My grandma's garden and my grandma's cows, these really cute, shaggy brown Highland cattle, are on the ridges. And the valley has a marsh with cattails and frogs and catfish and a freaking river otter. There are bats and deer and coyote that live in the woods. It is a natural community of living things that my family has tried to be good neighbors to. These hills and the valley are home to not so much a vibrant ecosystem, but a healthy neighborhood. In the neighborhood, my house is right above the pond, and on the other side is our spring. The spring comes right out of the side of a hill, and the water is completely untouched by humans until it hits my mouth. It is the best water I have ever tasted. Now, I tell you this so that when I say that Rover Pipeline has already destroyed 30,000 square feet of woods, you will know what is at stake for me and my neighborhood. 30,000 square feet of bat habitats have been destroyed. 30,000 square feet of wetlands are in danger. 30,000 square feet of trees mowed down like grass. And it runs right through where our water comes from. I fear our spring will likely be destroyed, along with everything else my family has worked so hard to leave alone. Our home, our way of life, is being cleared and destroyed. Is this what God meant in Genesis when she said, "Let them have dominion over every fish of the sea and the birds of the air"? When she said, "Over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth"? And did he intend for us to mow down trees like grass? Did she intend for us to rape the earth for our own profit? No. Dominion does not mean destruction. It means to care for the earth, to steward the earth, so that we can receive her bounty. And of course we need to care for Mother Nature because we literally can't live without her. In the Muslim religion, the Rabb, the Muslim Lord, expects much out of their subjects because they give much. In the same way, we have to give much to Mother Earth because she sustains us and we owe her. For too long, we have abused the land and the water without caring for it. If we're not aware, if we are not careful, the earth gets nailed to the cross for our sins. And our only means of sustenance, our means of salvation, is what we end up crucifying. And just as Jesus thirsted on that cross, the earth thirsts. Guys, when I think about that, I thirst. I thirst deeply for the pure waters of my homeland. I thirst for the animals that pant as they run from the destruction. I thirst for the people in North Dakota for their drinkable water. I thirst for the people in Flint bathing their babies in bottled water. I thirst for my friends in West Virginia as clean coal turns their streams black and red, poisoning things until they go belly up. I thirst for the rivers of the West, their waters drained to provide for cities built in the middle of the desert. I thirst for the water needy all over the globe, fighting for this precious resource. I thirst for wholeness, for the land that all people and all creatures can share together sustainably. I thirst for justice to roll down like mighty waters. I thirst for Jesus to rise. I thirst for us to rise like an unstoppable tide, for us to rain love on creation as opposed to cutting vast swaths of destruction, drying up the pure waters of our neighborhoods, of my neighborhood. I thirst for water, and instead find lifted to my lips, to my dry, cracked lips, a sponge of vinegar.